All right, welcome to the Laurel TriviaNet platform. Click on the login or register button and do the sign up workflow if you haven't already created an account. I already have an account, so I'm going to go to login and enter my username and password. And after I'm logged in, I will see the net browser page to see all the nets that I've created or the nets that are completed already. Let's get started by creating our first net. So on the left side, click plus new. Let's give our net a name. We can adjust the settings. Participant randomization has to do with how the participant order is randomized. Typically, we play by randomizing this before each category, but there's another option here that we can use that is before each question. The max hints per participant, we typically use one, but as we get more participants, we might increase this number to two, or if we add more questions or categories. So after we've set our title and settings, let's click on the categories button to go to the next page. This is going to save our net. And from this point, we can always go back to the browse nets and come back here to edit it. But this step allows us to set our categories. You should note that it says create 5. That's our minimum. You need at least 5 categories, but you can just add another one here like this and go to questions. So you can add as many categories as you want. And on step 3, you'll be assigning questions into those categories that you just created. By the way, you can just click up here, go back to edit your categories, click back here to go edit the settings, go back here to go to questions. If you want to reload this net to edit the questions or answers or any of that stuff in the future, just log in. You'll be sent here to the Browse Nets page and you'll see your net. By the way, only you can see this. I'm logged in as Joel. Only Joel can see nets that Joel created unless they're in a completed status. So all you would do is just click on your net, and that'll put you click on edit, right? That'll put you here into edit mode and take you right back to the last step that you left off on. So for me, I'm going to go to questions and geography. I'm going to hit the add question button, and this is where we define each individual question. And of course, most importantly, we need to select which answer is the correct one. So we do that, and now we can save our question. Cool. That shows up here. So we're going to repeat that process for each category. We need at least 2 questions per category. You can see here I have 6 categories, so we need at least 12 questions. And I say at least because we can always click add question and keep adding questions beyond that limit. You can see I've already got 2 here in this category, but I can still add another question. So don't be shy about the number of questions that you add. All right, as you can see, I've added questions here for all the different categories. Now the schedule net button is available. It's now enabled. So I wanted to point out if we are not happy with a certain question, we can click on it and we can do edit or delete to remove the question entirely. For example, here we have 3 questions. We only really want 2. Let's go delete this one. You see that one is now gone. And if we want to edit one of our existing questions, we click in here and go to the edit mode. That opens the question dialog, and now we can change the correct answer, change the hint, change the answers, etc. Hit update question, and that'll be persisted. So when we're all done here, oh, by the way, we can also add in more categories or delete categories. Let's just click on this. It says that we had questions in there. Is that okay? I said, yep. Now when we go to questions, we see that we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. So that works properly, only 10 questions. So when we're all done with our net, we're going to hit schedule. It's going to give us this reminder, if you schedule the net right now, it can't be edited further. So yep, I know, schedule net. That's going to take you to the net browser. We see our net is in the status of scheduled. It can be edited at this point. What this means is now when you log in later as the NCO, you're able to actually go to the net browser, find this net, and click on start. So next up, let's look at running our net that we just created. All right, the next segment is on how to run a net. So after we log in and go to the net browser, we'll find our net, which is in a status of scheduled because we completed the questions and answers, right? We're going to click on start. And at this point, we can show the opener script. We can read through this on the radio, and this guides us through the whole guidelines to ask for participants and do check-ins. By the way, down here at the bottom, it'll say, okay, let's look at the categories for tonight. This is automatically, dynamically generated based on the categories that you define with the net, which is pretty cool. If you close this, you can always reopen it here. So let's go ahead and add our call sign. Let's do our check-in. Oh, this is ASDF. This is QWER. Add all of the different participants and then click on Start Trivia Net. So from here, we're going to go through the different categories and the different questions that we defined earlier. So we're going to read out our question and we're going to read out the answers. And then we're going to call on the participant. Remember before we set the participant randomization order to be before each category. So we should see this ASDF here is the first one for this question and the next question. And after that, it'll re-roll. So it'll automatically select the correct participant. We'll call out for this person to get their answer. And all you have to do is click here to get their answer recorded. If they want a hint, and by the way, you see I just clicked on the answer. It updated over here. It made them dim. If they want a hint, you can click on this display hint button. It's going to log this against their account. Remember, we said that we only have one hint per user per game. So if we do this, it'll show the hint. That's where Nick lives. And it'll log it over here. From this point forward, this person has used one of one hints. They will not be able to use this button anymore. So now let's pick their answer. We'll automatically see the answer dialog pop up with the hint and the answer that we can read out. We can either close this and make changes. For example, if we miss somebody, we can always click back here and pick the answer that they actually wanted. Next, we'll click next question and go through this workflow for each question. I wanted to point out there is a no answer option. If you pick this, we're going to see an answer in or like not recorded for each person, which is nice when people drop out of the net for some reason, but we need to continue playing. So let's breeze through the net here, reading our questions and logging our answers for each player. Okay, here we are on the last question of the night, question number 10 of 10. So when we do the answers here, the workflow is going to change slightly. After we do the last answer, we're going to see this dialog with Mark Net Completed. When we click on that, that will close the net out. It'll set the status to completed. It'll set the completed time. It'll take us here to the net scoreboard, and it'll automatically open the closer script, which is what we read when the net is all done. We can close this and, for example, read out the results. ASDF had 1, QWER had 2. If you want to see that script again, it's up here on the top right, show closing script. This view allows us to see the individual questions. We can see the breakdown on who answered what, which is kind of cool.